And later, the spectacle continues with a wild show that's part circus, part performance art, and part rock show. Get ready to see a whole new side of the Blue Man Group. And later, clowning around. In blue, the Blue Man Group launches its global invasion. These Cobalt Crusaders reveal their master plan when the big idea continues. Spectacle continues with a wild show that's part circus, part performance art, and part rock show. Get ready to see a whole new side of the Blue Man Group.
Welcome back to The Big Idea. Okay, tonight, you've had a full access tour, one of the oldest forms of entertainment in the world, the circus. Ringling Brothers has been around since the 1800s. It's one of the original sources for these wild, spectacular acts we all love, but there are some new faces in the world of clowning and crazy props and wild music. New faces and blue faces. The Blue Man Group, check it out.
The act, Blue Man Group, a wild and colorful stage show that exists in a world somewhere between vaudeville, pantomime, performance art, and a rock concert. The namesake characters are painted blue and curious about everything. And their peculiar world, there's plenty to be curious about. And now, this show that started in a small neighborhood theater in New York is spreading its wings. In fact, it's a full-blown Blue Man invasion, with shows in 7 cities around the world, including one every night of the week in Las Vegas at a new $25 million theater inside the Venetian Resort Hotel Casino.
Now, without the makeup, Phil Stanton, Chris Winks, Matt Goldman, co-founders of Blue Man Group. Welcome to Big Idea, guys. How'd you guys grow this hair? Well, I'm confused. What's going on here?
You know, it's the magic of having a secret identity.
Secret identity. I am so excited to have you guys here today because you guys are examples of a lot of things we talk about on this show. You know, unbound creativity, obviously building businesses, brands. I love, Matt, that it starts with you're a MBA. Everybody's got to go out there. This is CNBC, all business people, smart, aspirational people, and I always say a lot of ways to make money out there, and MBA doing this. Let's start to connect the dots here. How'd you guys get started?
Well, I'll say just on a personal note, what I was doing before Blue Man, and Blue Man still made a lot of sense. I was sort of involved in creating the software, in the early days of software, and even going back to the Apple IIe, and so we were taking ideas and making them real. And at Blue Man, we were just taking conversations and ideas and making them real. So all my clients in New York and everything, they all said, oh, Matt paints himself bald and blue every night and performs at midnight. Of course. It's exactly what he does.
You know, you really hit up right off, you know, at the top. You hit the nail on the head about one reason why I think we've been successful is the fact that from the get-go, we thought of the art being just as much about the business end of it as what ended up on stage.
So I want to understand, what is Blue Man Group? What do you guys, what was the goal? What was the mission statement to say, okay, this is what we're trying to do here?
The first thing I would say is that what the mission was to have a big successful company or to even have a successful show. We couldn't have possibly expected that. And that's an interesting thing to say because a lot of times people, like maybe that watch this show, have like, you know, long-term goals, and that sometimes works very well. But sometimes...
Very often they don't. The interesting thing is, most of the time, it's an idea, and they take one step, and another step.
Well, that's interesting to hear.
Whether it's Bill Gates, I got to tell you.
That's funny, because that's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I would have thought that Bill Gates had a big master plan, but our situation was, we were just excited about doing something, you know, a few months down the road. Let's get bald and blue. We had this idea of this character.
But that's what I'm trying to get to. You guys in a room going, okay, I understand you guys want to do kind of performance art. You were bringing all your aspects of life together. Vaudeville. You were a drummer, actor.
Right.
We talked about. But I want to understand the birthing of, okay, we're going to do these 3 guys in blue, bald. They're going to be doing this stuff. What was going on?
Well, you know, I think what you're getting at is how do you sit down and write something like this? And it didn't really happen like that. It was a very gradual process getting to know the Blue Man. You know, we knew we wanted to express something tribal, And we knew we wanted to combine all these elements like Chris was talking about. So the first thing we did was learn to drum, you know, and build our own drums. And then things just built very gradually, one thing upon another, I think.
Okay, what's going on here?
You know, it's a standard shaving cream piece.
The old standard shaving cream piece, right.
On plexi.
You know, it's kind of a fun way to have us play around with different mediums. You know, the Blue Man's sort of creating a painting with shaving cream, and then on that, there's a discussion about animation. And one of the precursors is Balinese shadow puppetry. So it's kind of like a whacked out science fair, but the rules of physics start to change, and we start to give that sort of mind freak type of element that I think is one of our trademarks.
Okay, Drumbone, take me through this.
Well, we always like tubes because it's a way a drummer can make music and percussion. And this is a real simple instrument that is like a trombone, but for drummers, because you get different pitch by moving it in and out, and it takes 3 guys to play it, and it's like a lot of effort just to get like 3 or 4 notes, which is one of our also branding things.
It's
like
the world's clumsiest instrument. That's what we do. We set it to
and
the world.
it sets the stage for comedy because you have little accidents or miss different cues on what should be done. But also what we like about it is kind of got an industrial vibe. Right. You can kind of play a punk rock song on it, but you can also play a song that, you know, that my mom would like.
Song,
you know.
Let's go to Captain Crunch here, and I want to understand the kind of the history, how you got to this, and what are you trying to say here?
Well, I don't know if you need to say anything more about this, right? Is it self-explanatory? No, go ahead.
Well, the Blue Man is an outsider to our culture, and that's a fun thing. And if someone came down from another place and looked at our world and saw that some of the food was sold by how loud it was, they might be a little confused by that, and they might think, oh, this isn't really food, this is a musical instrument.
You guys are really living examples of so much of what we talk about in the show and try and inspire, which is just kind of following your dream. There's so many different ways to make money. You guys were on the surface, which seems such a primal, tribal, non-thought out business thing, is the perfect merging of art and business. Very well thought out, fantastic. Congratulations, guys. Continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's Phil Stanton, Chris Winks, and Matt Goldman, co-founders of Blue Man Group. I'm going to be trying out. They say I got all the stats. Coming back, me as a Blue Man Group. No, only kidding. More big ideas straight ahead.